So what I want to do is I want to talk to you about how people grow businesses, because growing businesses is important. It's not just about digital, it's about actually knowing how you make it happen. And my experience in doing this is I have grown and sold businesses over the last 20 years. That's kind of what I do. I either help people do that or I do it for myself. I'm currently working with Google with their top agencies, along with working with a whole bunch of medium-sized businesses. So medium-sized businesses is what I do. So here's the question. The first question is, when we look at people who are trying to grow their businesses, is what on earth is holding people back? What actually stops them from actually running the business they really want to run? And the answer is, I'm going to do this all on my own, because it's pointless getting interaction, because there's not enough of you to do the interaction. The point of it is it's always about fear. It's fear of letting go. It's fear of going bust. If we look at who's gone bust, when we see who they are, time and time again, these are really big, clever businesses who kind of thought they knew what they were doing, but they hadn't noticed that the lights had changed. But the issue for me is about this essence, about they didn't understand the difference about what was going on. There's this thing about strategy and understanding the difference between where they are now, where they're going, and how to make that difference happen. So it's always fear, 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 fear is the thing which drives people bonkers. So question for me is really, one of those days. Thank you, right. So the question for me is about far more about, how do we actually grow our business? What is going on when we try to grow our business? Too often people blame their environment, they blame everything around them. They don't have the right marketing people, they don't have the right staff, they don't have the right customers, they don't have the right bank, they don't have the right accountant. There's this feeling of an external locus of control, that they don't know what's going on, and they blame other people. So my daughter endlessly blames other people. They put more alcohol in her drink than she was expecting. They put a lamppost behind her car so she couldn't see it. But it's never ever her fault. And the conundrum is about really an understanding about whose fault is it. So I think we've all seen this image before, and the question is, which of the tables is longer? And even our conscious is still telling us that the left-hand side is longer than the right-hand side. Our logical, instant brain is saying the left-hand side is longer than the right-hand side. And yet, when we actually put the lines in front of it, baff, it flips over. And the really interesting thing about this is, if we can't go back on this. I won't go back because I can't go back on the slide. If you actually, which we can, I think we have. No, it doesn't want to go back. If you actually go back, your logic will still tell you that you believe what looks longer is longer. And one of the conundrums we have for people, same thing here, the left-hand side looks like the black button is bigger than the right-hand side. Intellectually we're saying left-hand side bigger, left-hand side bigger. We know when we look to the right-hand side, they're the same. But when you revert back to the original slide, you still want to believe the old rules. So we have a world where we endlessly, despite what rationality tells us, we still go down to believing our first natural instinct. And one of the things we're doing when we're growing businesses is we're desperately trying to fight the rational versus our first natural instinct to what's going on. So here's the question, simple question, and the question is, how good is your business? What is it that we measure? What are the things we measure when we look at how good a business is? Okay, so we can't shout and do participatives because we can't hear each other, it's really impossible. But the issue is really straightforward. When we talk about how good a business is, we always come up with the same thing. People always go, the thing they want to talk about is finance. Finance is the engine of the business. Cash flow is what makes the business go around. Finance is the thing that people always come up with first. They always want to talk about finance. They talk about money, turnover, cash, profitability, profit per line. People always want to talk first and foremost about finance. Then, if you're lucky, people will talk about marketing, okay? All the people over there. And there are many measures of marketing as there are of finance. So if we actually look at how good our business is, it's get the money, get the customers, get the money, get the customers, get the money, get the customers. Finance, marketing, finance, marketing. And the final ball, when we look at how good our business is operations, which is doing the doing. So the piece is marketing, get the customers, operations, do the doing, finance, collect the money. And it's a juggle. Sell, make, collect, sell, make. And the trick is that we keep all the balls in the air. The big trick is that we keep all the balls in the air. Of course, the real conundrum is that finance isn't really a ball of equal size. Finance is more like juggling with one of these. Suddenly we have your attention. And if I'm juggling with one of these, finance, marketing, operations, which is the one that I concentrate on most of all? Always the finance. So the consultants, the accountants, the business schools, all always talk about finance, but the reality is that finance is simply a consequence of how good we are at marketing and operations. So when we juggle, sell, make, relax, we never drop the finance ball, but what we do is we take our eyes off the marketing or the operations. So my first business was a restaurant, okay? We had to be awesome at marketing, which is getting people to buy from you, getting people to come in, getting people to join you, operations, doing the doing, and of course the finance. You need to be good at all three. And so when we're thinking about how we grow our business, we can't just be good at one of them. We need to be good at finance and the marketing and the operations. And the trouble we have, and I would argue the reason why everyone's over there doing the digital stuff and not over here, is because everyone always thinks that the quick solution, because what you can do is if you give yourself a score out of 10 for your business, for your financial performance, marketing performance, your operations performance, I'll do it over here. Having spoken to, I could do it on the screen, having spoken to over 20,000 businesses, the scores always come out as follows. 90% of businesses score themselves. Finance, money's okay. Operations, my God, we're wonderful at what we do. We do the best widgets in the world. And marketing, we could do better. So, because marketing and operations creates finance, let me just show you. Because we have that arrangement, your financial performance is an average, a consequence of how good your marketing and your operations is. What you find is that people always go for marketing. When their business is going bad, they always do more AdWords, more adverts, they do rebranding, they do websites and so on and so forth. And actually, I would argue, my friends, that's actually entirely the wrong thing to do. What you need to do isn't be over there, but actually be thinking strategically about the financial model. Because if you're only making a penny in the pound, there's no point doing loads of marketing and doubling your turnover. What you actually want to do is be able to be sorting out your pricing so that you're making a decent amount of money and then you do your marketing. So there's a kind of part of the business growth thing is, I need to do more marketing, I need to do more marketing. No, you don't need to do more marketing. What you need to do is have a business which has a sustainable business model first, and only once you've got that should you actually be growing the business. So here's the question. The reality, in my mind, is not 10 ways to double your profits in the next 10 days or your money back. The reality is not, give me £15,000 and in a year's time your profit will be tripled. Those things are silver bullets, and silver bullets, quick fix solutions are exactly what they are. We all know that quick fixes don't really work. There is actually a more realistic way about growing a business, which is actually about the long term and about sustainability. And if you think I can tell you how to become a millionaire in 5 days, you're talking to the wrong person. Go give your money to someone else. What I can tell you from the work that I've done at the various business schools, Cranfield and Warwick Business School and so on and so forth, is there are certain things that successful businesses do, okay? And there's a kind of that's better. I'll be able to talk tonight and tomorrow now, fantastic. I just need the pumping rock music. There are three things which really great businesses do. The first thing is they are obsessed with strategy. What on earth is strategy? Strategy is where am I now, where am I going, while being aware of the outside environment. Strategy is about understanding what's going on in the market, from the industry. Strategy is about understanding who my customers are, what their hurts and needs are. Strategy is about understanding who my competitors are. Strategy is about literally making your plans while being aware of the outside environment. All great businesses are obsessed with strategy. Then they are also obsessed with marketing. How can I get people to buy from me? Marketing is not about how many AdWords you sell, what your conversion rates are. Marketing is not about whether you've got Flash version 11.7. Marketing is much more simple than this. This is your customer, okay? And the issue is really straightforward. If your customer has a problem, need, hurt, itch, scratch, or want, when they have that hurt, need, scratch, itch, or want, they lift their head up above the parapet and they look around to find someone who they can buy from. And if the way you look and the sound of you and how you come across is right, they will buy from you. So marketing is simply a measure of how good you are at getting people to buy from you. So the really great businesses are obsessed with strategy, they're obsessed with marketing, they're obsessed with teams. The problem that we have is that too many people go straight for the marketing piece rather than the strategy piece. They just leave that out. So unless you've got a product that people want, a product that solves a problem, a way in which you sell it, an understanding of why you're different from the rest, go to any of the stands today and ask people at the stands, why should I buy from you when I can buy from the competition? None of them can answer it because most of them are me toos. So there's a sense about understanding how you can be different as opposed to similar to the rest. Okay, so really great businesses are obsessed with strategy, marketing, and teams. I'm going to give you 4 things to help you grow the business in a quick way, but I cannot emphasize enough, 4 ways is just the quick fix tip of the iceberg. What you actually need to be doing is going deeper and deeper into understanding what the problems are with the business. Not looking for quick fixes, but looking for long-term sustainable wins. The businesses that work are the ones that work in the long time, not the fireworks which just leap up and go down. So let me give you 4 things that businesses do. So, highly successful businesses, obsessive focused strategy, marketing teams, also interesting enough external advice, external finance. So what are the 4 things? Number 1 on the hit parade, head and shoulders above any other way to grow the business is to put your prices up. Do not put your prices down. Do not compete on price. Competing on price is a total and utter mug's game, okay? It is for the fools. You will not win competing on price unless you have costs cheaper than anyone else. The only person who will ever gain will be other people, yeah? And all the research supports that because price is not the main reason for customer churn. People don't leave you because of price. People leave you because of your rubbish service. People don't leave you because of price. It's never about price. And we need to understand that it's not about customer churn. It's actually due to poor customer service. And in fact, the majority of people will pay more money for superior customer service. What people want isn't the cheapest. What they want is the best and most appropriate for them. And again, some stats which I was astounded by, which is, and this is done by Accenture, the average percentage, the average proportion of consumers who are motivated by price is a mere 10%. Yeah? Right the way across all sectors, only 10% of people are influenced, affected by price. They always say it's price when they don't buy from you, but actually it's about quality of service, it's about responsiveness, it's about flexibility, it's about understanding the problem, it's about give me the solution that I actually want to do. So please, unless your business has lower cost than everyone else's, discounting is a mug's game. And just to support that, if you've got a business with a gross margin of 30%, gross margin of 30%, if you put your prices up by 10%, you can afford to lose 25% of your customers. I'll repeat that. A gross margin of 30%, so you're buying £7, selling for £10, buying for £7. If you have a gross margin of 30%, you put your prices up by 10%, you can afford to lose 25% of your customers. And the customers who leave you are the pond life and the scum who are buying on price who you didn't need in the first place. If, on the other hand, you're still saying, I'm young, I'm small, I need to compete on price, if you put your price down by 10%, with a gross margin of 30%, if you put your price down by 10%, you need to find 50% more customers just to stay in the same place. I will repeat, if you put your prices down by 10%, you need to find 50% more customers just to be in the same place in terms of cash in your back pocket. Or put it another way, if you don't find half as many customers as you already have, you're going backwards. And the customers you attract by selling on price are the pond life and the scum who only want the cheapest, best, who are disloyal and will go somewhere else. So I implore, put up your prices, because then you no longer feel like a whore and a prostitute. You feel like you're doing something proper. You're able to deliver proper value and proper value for money. You're able to add more value. You're able to spend more time with customers who actually understand the value of what you offer.